The Tale of Calon Arang. Long ago, in the land of Daha, believed to be in Kediri, East Java, not far from present-day Bandung, though the story has variations across Java and Bali, lived a powerful widow named Calon Arang. She possessed immense knowledge of black magic and was feared by all. Her very name sent shivers down the spines of the villagers, and whispers of her dark deeds spread like wildfire. Calon Arang lived in the village of Jira and had a beautiful daughter named Ratna Mangali. Many noble and handsome men sought Ratna Mangali's hand in marriage, but for reasons unknown, Calon Arang refused every proposal. Some whispered that she held on to her daughter jealously, while others believed she sought a son-in-law who could match her own formidable power. As time went on, the young men of Daha grew weary of being rejected, and rumors began to circulate that Calon Arang was intentionally preventing her daughter from marrying, perhaps out of spite or a desire to wield even greater influence. This social isolation and the constant fear surrounding Calon Arang and her daughter led to a growing resentment among the people. Soon, a terrible plague descended upon Daha. People fell ill and died in droves, and the once vibrant kingdom was shrouded in sorrow and fear. The villagers believed that Calon Arang, in her bitterness and anger over her daughter's unmarried state, had unleashed the plague through her dark magic. Panic gripped the land, and despair settled in the hearts of the people. The king of Daha was deeply troubled by the suffering of his people. He consulted his advisors and wise men, seeking a way to end the devastating plague. They concluded that the source of the affliction was none other than Calon Arang's malevolent magic, fueled by her resentment. Desperate to save his kingdom, the king sought the help of a renowned sage and healer named Empu Barada. Empu Barada was known for his wisdom, his mastery of both spiritual and earthly healing, and his ability to counter dark magic. The king sent a messenger to Empu Barada, pleading for his intervention. Empu Barada, understanding the gravity of the situation, agreed to help. However, he knew that directly confronting Calon Arang's immense power would be incredibly dangerous. He devised a clever plan that involved his own adopted son, Empu Bahula. Empu Barada arranged for Empu Bahula, a handsome and intelligent young man skilled in diplomacy and possessing a good heart, to propose marriage to Ratna Mangali. The plan was that through this union, Empu Bahula could infiltrate Calon Arang's inner circle, learn the secrets of her power, and ultimately find a way to neutralize her dark magic. Initially, Calon Arang was suspicious of Empu Bahula's sudden interest in her daughter, especially after so many rejections. However, Empu Bahula's charm and sincerity, coupled with Empu Barada's subtle influence, eventually convinced her to agree to the marriage. Ratna Mangali, perhaps longing for companionship and a normal life, also accepted Empu Bahula's proposal. The wedding was held with a strange mix of celebration and underlying tension. Empu Bahula lived with Calon Arang and Ratna Mangali, observing their daily lives and carefully trying to understand the source of Calon Arang's power. He noticed her frequent secretive rituals and the presence of a sacred book filled with powerful incantations and spells. This book, he suspected, was the key to her dark magic. Through his gentle nature and genuine affection for Ratna Mangali, Empu Bahula eventually gained some trust within the household. He learned more about Calon Arang's routines and her deep-seated grievances. He also witnessed firsthand the fear she instilled in the surrounding villages. Knowing that he couldn't directly steal the powerful book, Empu Bahula sent a secret message to his adoptive father, Empu Barada, detailing his findings. Empu Barada, with his wisdom and spiritual insight, understood the nature of Calon Arang's power and how to counteract it. Empu Barada then devised a plan to obtain a copy of Calon Arang's sacred book. He sent one of his disciples, disguised as a traveler, to befriend Calon Arang. Over time, the disciple gained her trust and, through cunning and careful observation, managed to secretly copy the contents of the powerful manuscript. Once Empu Barada had a copy of Calon Arang's book, he studied its intricate spells and incantations. He discovered the source of her power and, more importantly, the means to neutralize it. He learned that her magic was fueled by a combination of potent rituals, the sacred book, and a deep well of negative emotions. Empu Barada, along with his disciples and Empu Bahula, then confronted Calon Arang. A fierce magical battle ensued. Calon Arang unleashed her most potent spells, summoning terrifying spirits and dark energies. However, Empu Barada and his followers, armed with the knowledge from the copied book and their own spiritual strength, were able to counter her attacks. The battle raged, shaking the very foundations of the village. In the end, it was either Empu Barada himself, or in some versions of the story, Empu Bahula using the knowledge he had gained, who managed to defeat Calon Arang, severing her connection to her dark magic and breaking its hold on the land. With Calon Arang's defeat, the plague that had ravaged Daha began to subside. The villagers rejoiced, their fear replaced with gratitude for Empu Barada and Empu Bahula's bravery. The fate of Ratna Mangali varies in different versions of the tale. In some, she remains with Empu Bahula, and they live peacefully. In others, she is consumed by grief over her mother's demise. The story of Calon Arang serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked power, bitterness, and the misuse of magic. It also highlights the importance of wisdom, courage, and the triumph of good over evil. While the story is rooted in Javanese folklore, its themes of social conflict, the fear of the unknown, and the struggle against malevolent forces resonate across Indonesian culture. The Barong Landung performance in Bali is believed to be inspired by the legend of Calon Arang, further cementing her place in Indonesian folklore.